So we just had a long discussion about Northrend and how that's all returning. So basically you got, Wrath of the Lich King Reborn kind of coming back. Also, some Burning Crusade stuff happening here. Yes, Illidan returning. Maybe some of the stuff that would happen in Legion coming back to be finished in the Last Titan. Illidan returns, but Lightforged. Xe'ra was right. What is this? Would Illidan ever accept being Lightforged? I don't think so. It just doesn't fit his character arc. But after chatting with Sargeras as long as he has been, who knows what Illidan will believe when he finally returns. Let's see what Doran has to say about Illidan's return, but as a Lightforged.
Illidan is 100% returning in the Last Titan. This is not a speculation, this was actually officially confirmed by Blizzard. However, do you remember the iconic moment from Legion when he rejected a gift of the light and destroyed the Prime Naru Xe'ra? Well,
a badass moment.
Back at the dialogue prior to that event, she told him that the Legion is but a temporary threat and that the light needs a warrior like him to battle a much bigger problem, that is the void.
That's true. I mean, Xe'ra was there was a reason for her conversion. It wasn't just like, oh, I want to make you Lightforged. There was a prophecy that Xe'ra was trying to fulfill, and that was, the golden-eyed elf, being like the chosen one to basically save the world from the void and everything else. So there was a reason for this. Now, Illidan clearly messed this entire prophecy up by destroying her and rejecting it and being all dramatic, saying, I am my scars. It was a badass moment, but dramatic as shit. Basically, that happened. So now, what do we do without the Chosen One? Was there actual truth to that prophecy? Because if there was, then we're fucked, right? We don't have our Chosen One empowered by the light, so we're just going to lose to the void. And we'll see. We're supposed to take an L in Midnight. Maybe Illidan's the reason we take the L.
Problem, that is the void. 10 years later, with Midnight in the World Soul Saga, looks like Xe'ra was 100% right. Sargeras and the Legion were indeed a temporary setback, and now in the next few months we'll be dealing with the void. Now that Illidan is returning in the World Soul Saga, is he going to reconsider the offer this time? And could we be seeing a light version of Illidan with demon hunters wielding the light as well? While having the best deals on the market for all games and software, Gamivo just added mobile pop-ups for your favorite mobile games with the best prices that you can get with my Gamivo link in the description below. Best of all, if you use my code DORON, your discount will be even bigger.
Fuck you,
so make sure to use my link in the description and the code and check out Gamivo. So, all you remember the super iconic moment when we thought Xe'ra, the Prime Naru, was our ally, that she was going to help us together with Illidan, but instead, she decided to put shackles and to try to forcefully convert him, which caused Illidan to go crazy, to destroy her, and say things like, I am my scars. At the same time, this was a fully badass moment where Illidan broke a super powerful being with his free will. But now, in the War Within, with a new perspective and with the recent knowledge, I think this crazy event might have been a little short-sighted.
Yeah, I mean, look, would Illidan ever accept the light? I mean, Illidan, we know, like, just as part of his core character, he's eaten the skull of Gul'dan, he's accepted demon powers and all kinds of shit. Like, Illidan is willing to take on power-ups to get to his end goal. His end goal used to be defeating Sargeras and the Legion and everything else, and he was willing to do anything to accomplish that goal, right? Gouging his eyes out, creating an army of other elves that were willing to do the same. Again, taking on demon blood, eating the skull of Gul'dan. Like, he's willing to go the distance and do what it takes to achieve his end goals. So if he finds out that accepting the light is the only way to defeat the Titans, who he suddenly realizes are his true enemy, not just Sargeras, then I could imagine Illidan, it would fit in his character arc that he would finally accept it. He would take it on and decide, okay, you know what? I don't give a shit. Give me any power you can possibly give me, because I'm going to defeat these assholes. And it would totally fit. It wouldn't be that far-fetched for him to do that.
He is all about visions
just
and
be
beings
pushed to
like
that
Xe'ra definitely know a lot more than we currently do. The light is also super vague, like we never know if they're good or bad, but what is certain is that they're definitely one of the 6 cosmological powers of their own, with their very own goals and ambitions. They're definitely pushing their own fanatical narrative. What can't be denied is that they are very fanatical. They also have this background, some ancient history with the Void, where they're kind of close to them, but we don't know in what way. And and we'll probably learn about this soon enough. However, as I just stated, the light is all about visions, and we have actually seen these visions occur in many occasions. We don't really know whether they predict the real future, whether they just push their own narrative, but
where the hell has Prophet Velen been? Like this entire expansion? Is he even over there? Is he in Dornogal? Or is he just dicking around on his new crystal ship, flying around doing whatever the hell he wants? That's actually a decent question. Like, he's supposed to be one of the most wise and powerful people in all of Azeroth, and he's been fucking MIA this entire expansion.
For example, Velen got visions around Cataclysm of this final battle of the Light and the Void, which we thought was some random scenario,
Maybe
but
Stoic.
it is almost certainly of Midnight. The Light Emperor of the Other
He's working on rebuilding a new capital city for the Draenei. I mean, that's been rumored for quite a while that they're going to get some new capital city, maybe in Draenor. I have no idea. Maybe he's out there in Draenor fighting off that crazy zealot bitch. What's her name? God. The Draenei girl who's like now converting orcs by the forcing them to accept the light. Maybe he's over there dealing with that. I have no idea. At the end of Dragonflight, the Draenei Heritage Armor quest talks about that. At the end of Dragonflight, it'll be on Azeroth. Okay, so maybe he is rebuilding him a city. Maybe we're gonna get a new Draenei city.
Arati also got the same vision of the final battle that the Arati called Renilash, which one part is definitely already in the War Within, but I also think the Renilash is going to be in Midnight. However, around Legion, a few years later, Xe'ra predicted something else, and we have the conversation that she actually had with Illidan. She said to him, "You, or someone like you, was bound to come. The universe throws up champions in the face of those who would destroy it. The Void is a more potent foe by far than the Burning Legion. It is the ultimate opponent of the Light. It will take all the peoples of Azeroth and Outland united to oppose it. You will defy death. I have seen this. Whatever you were,
Interesting that she says it will take everyone and all beings united to defeat it. Who else said that once? One of the greatest characters ever created, right? Zoval. The bald, big-nippled man. What did he say as he fell to his knees after we defeated him? A cosmos divided will not survive what is to come. Now, again, I've said this many times before. His final words, never forget it. He was on his knees and he said, come. Okay, but that's besides the point. The thing is, he was talking about the same thing Xe'ra was. And he was talking about the fact that only by being united can we actually defeat this foe. Were they talking about the same foe? Were they talking about the same end times? Probably. Starting to think they were. We'll see.
Whatever you are, a champion of the Light is what you will be. You will be a hero, but there will be a price. Now, back in the day, we thought this was an old hag, an ancient Naru is just super crazy and just babbling about something and just trying to get Illidan recruited for their own army. But really, based on what happened in the past 10 years since Legion, she may have actually been right. It is 100% true that the Legion is not really a serious foe or the world-destroying threat that we saw back in the day, and that the Void is a far more powerful foe. A lot of people forget this, but the Legion was created to battle the Void in the first place, and this is what consumed most of their resources other than attacking us. The Legion kept the Void busy for thousands of years, and now they're gone. The Void has 100% of their army to do whatever they want. Now, Illidan was a do whatever it takes guy. He literally became a demon in order to save Azeroth from Sargeras, but I think Xe'ra saw how futile this actually was. When you think about it, Sargeras really wasn't that big of a threat, and this is now so evident with the World Soul Saga. Really, Sargeras' entire ordeal was a Titan misunderstanding. He kind of bargained into this battle against the Void, but the Void has been a far more dangerous and powerful foe since the beginning. This is the whole reason Sargeras went crazy, because he thought the Titans were powerless. So, based on this new perspective, Xe'ra may not have been as crazy as we thought back in the day. She probably did see the entire Sargeras.
Oh, I don't think Xe'ra was crazy. I don't think the Light necessarily is crazy. They're just a bit fanatical. They think there's only one way to do things. That's the problem with the Light. You know, they're very single-minded, singular in vision, whereas the Void, you know, that's their thing. Is like the Void sees all possibilities. Anything's possible, but the Light sees only one possible path forward. That's the difference between the two. So going at it from a point of view that she was evil, and that's why she was, wrong about trying to convert Illidan. I wouldn't say she was evil. She was trying to do good. She just didn't understand any other way to accomplish her goal other than forcing Illidan to accept the Light. That's where kind of the fucked upness came in.
did see the entire Sargeras fight as a temporary distraction and that the real Void invasion of Azeroth is imminent, what is going to happen in Midnight soon? So current converting Illidan might have been a long-term goal, one that would help in the current Sargeras battle, but that would help prepare Azeroth for the future. This might also be why she brought back Terrellian after all this time, why she even recruited him in the first place, and why he's currently on Azeroth in one of the leading positions. So the point is, the return of Illidan to the light might not be all that crazy of a proposition, and just hear me out real quick. Illidan is a demon hunter. He decided to embrace the Fel, which pretty much changed him entirely to the core in order to battle the Legion that was after our planet and to battle Sargeras. However, once he realizes that his battle was kind of futile, it didn't really mean much, him accepting the light would really be a walk in the park with what he had gone through so far. I mean, if you realize how crazy Demon Hunter rituals are, accepting the light is literally nothing. I don't know if you remember the end of the last year's interview. Chris Metzen had essentially confirmed that Illidan's return is a 13.0 thing. He told us we are not prepared for 13. So this is not one of those like, what if, maybe this...
I don't think he was talking about Legion remakes either. Some people think that's what he was not laying a hint for fucking Legion remix, okay? He was talking about Illidan coming back in retail. And that's most assuredly going to happen. He's a big character. He's not dead. He's sitting out there talking to the guy who was also opposed to the Titans and actually the only one in the lore who's ever killed the other Titans, right? Sargeras is the only one who's ever killed them.
We have a realm to destroy.
Lado, thank you for the follow, man. Welcome to our Scourge. Now, if we want to actually finish off the Titans, who better than to tell us how to defeat them than Sargeras himself? We'll see. We'll see. He's always been very bitter towards his siblings, so I'm sure he would join us in that cause.
This character could return, he could be relevant. He's 100% returning, just his actual form is going to be uncertain. Currently, he's the guardian of Sargeras, he's keeping him imprisoned, but let's just say that won't be going on for long. Our known narrative has shifted 180 degrees, and it's not just like what it was back in the day. I mean, just think about how ridiculous the current situation is. Titans imprisoned one of their own that was battling the Void, and Illidan is now guarding this prison for the Titans, yet we're constantly learning that the Titans are definitely the bad guys, and their return to Azeroth has been confirmed. So when the Titans...
by the way, I don't like people like you say the Titans are the bad guys. They're not the bad guys. They just have a goal that eventually is gonna eventually not gonna align with us staying alive. Like that's what it is. They're not innately evil. Like they don't want to just wipe us out for the sake of killing us because they don't like us. No, they just have an end game plan to create complete order in the universe. It's just innately built in them. They're made of arcane. That's just how they are. But their goal has aligned with us up until this point. Eventually, their goal is no longer going to align with us staying alive, and that's the problem. Therein lies the problem. Like now, it's either they kill us or we kill them. That's what's going to happen.
Titans come to attack us, and this massive conspiracy over Azeroth is revealed. There is about 0% chance that Illidan is going to remain guarding a Titan prison and being their pawn. He is going to be returning, but the light is also going to be on Azeroth's side then. We don't know in what way and whether good or bad, but if it is good, I could see Illidan taking on the offer that he rejected back in Legion. The light would cleanse his scars, and the powers of the light would be the perfect antidote to the void that is going to be present, as we don't know whether they will be fully defeated at the end of Midnight. Previously, I was talking about how the Demon Hunters are essentially useless, as they're elite warriors built for a single purpose of battling the Legion that was already defeated, so they really have no utility anymore. I was talking about how they may embrace the void. We could get void Demon Hunters, as they're really no strangers to embracing dark magics. But imagine if Demon Hunters got the lights back through Illidan. Sounds like crazy fan fiction, but it would actually make sense. At least we know Illidan was almost light converted, and we had seen his fell scars turn into light ones. Of course, it is definitely way too early to say anything at this point for certain in the War Within, as we don't know how the things are going to play out with the light and the void and the Titans in the upcoming years. But looks like Xe'ra, the Prime Naru, was in fact right back in Legion. She did say that the Burning Legion is a temporary threat, that the bigger things that are against us, the void, which we will now face. His rejection of the gift back in the day made complete sense, but from this perspective, with him being a Titan tool, he may have to...
Also, the other guy in this scene, I mean, Terrellian's sitting on the throne of Stormwind right now. What the hell is going to happen with him going forward? Is he going to be super fanatical and decide with the light regardless of whether or not we believe the light is correct or not? or is he going to side with the rest of Azeroth and all the humans and Anduin, and accept the fact that maybe, you know, we're going to dabble a little bit in both sides. It's not just all light is good and void is bad. It's going to kind of be a little bit of both.
Reconsider the offer, and we may see a light Illidan in the near future, which would be absolutely crazy. Thanks for watching. Check out WoW 2 potentially coming back soon by clicking on the screen, and check out my second channel for real world history by clicking on the screen as well. See you next time.
No, nice video from Doran. Maybe he will side with the traditionalist Arathi faction. Interesting, because, you know, there's the whole Light Emperor on the other side of the world and everything else, and we know they are kind of like, you know, extremely into the light and belief in the light, that the light is the true path and everything the light does is correct. That's a good point, Stoic. Yeah, I could see him totally agreeing with the Arathi, you know, philosophies and everything and wanting to join forces with them. We'll have to see. Nice video from Doran.